The night it happened felt heavier than rain, the kind that pressed against the windshield and the chest at the same time. In the underground parking garage of a glass tower in downtown Chicago, a single father named Michael Harris stood beside his aging sedan, exhausted after another 12-hour shift. He was a facilities supervisor, invisible to most, reliable to everyone. Above him, in the executive floors, decisions were made that moved millions of dollars. Below, where he stood, life was about making it through one more day for his 8-year-old son, Noah. What Michael did not know was that the woman who ruled that building, the feared CEO whose name silenced rooms, was quietly unraveling that same night. Before this story goes any further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of unseen compassion, take a moment to like this video. Share it with someone who needs hope, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. These stories exist because people still believe humanity matters. Michael's life had narrowed after his wife passed away from a sudden illness 3 years earlier. The house became quieter, mornings more rushed and nights longer. He learned to braid his son's hair for school, pack lunches with handwritten notes, and hide his own grief behind routine. Work was stability, not ambition. He arrived early, left late, and never complained. His boss's boss's boss was a woman named Catherine Moore, a name spoken with caution and awe. She was known for sharp decisions, impossible standards, and a presence that intimidated even seasoned executives. What no one knew was that Catherine's strength had been cracking for weeks. The board was pressuring her to finalize a merger that would erase thousands of jobs. Her father, the man who taught her resilience, had died quietly in a nursing home she rarely visited because she was always busy winning. And that very evening, after a gala she never wanted to attend, she received medical news she could not process alone. Her world, built on control, suddenly felt unsafe. In the garage, Michael was startled when he saw her standing near the elevator, pale, heels discarded, one hand pressed against the concrete wall. Her eyes, usually cold and commanding, looked unfocused, almost frightened. When she approached him, her voice was low, urgent, and trembling. The words she said sounded like authority, but what Michael sensed beneath them was desperation. She demanded he take her home, implying consequences he could not afford to test. To anyone else it would have sounded like power. To him it sounded like someone drowning. Michael hesitated only long enough to think of Noah sleeping at home, trusting his father to always do the right thing. He nodded, opened the passenger door, and drove. The city lights blurred past as rain streaked the windows. Catherine sat rigidly at first, then slowly folded in on herself. Halfway through the drive to her lakeside estate, her breathing grew shallow. Michael pulled over, not as an employee, but as a human being. He waited, steady, silent, offering calm without questions. Eventually, the tension broke, her shoulders shook, and the mask she wore in boardrooms collapsed in that quiet car. She did not speak in confessions, but in fragments, a life built on proving worth, a childhood where weakness was punished, a future suddenly uncertain. Michael listened the way he had learned to listen to his son after nightmares, with patience and presence. He did not try to fix her, he simply stayed. When they reached her home, a mansion that felt more like a museum than a refuge, Catherine asked him to wait. Inside, she returned with an envelope, not of money but of documents. She explained, in steady tones now, that she had been diagnosed with a serious heart condition triggered by stress. The merger, the pressure, the isolation, it was all killing her slowly. That night she realized power had left her alone. Over the following weeks, everything began to change. Catherine delayed the merger, demanding humane alternatives. She started arriving earlier, leaving earlier, walking the building instead of hiding in her office. Michael noticed small things at first. A greeting in the hallway, a question about his son. Then one afternoon he was called to the executive floor, not to be reprimanded but to be thanked. His calm presence that night had saved more than her health. It had reminded her she was human. Michael's struggles did not vanish. Bills still piled up. Noah still missed his mother. But Catherine quietly ensured he received a promotion he had long deserved, flexible hours, and a scholarship fund for Noah's future. She never framed it as charity. She framed it as justice. Months later, at a company-wide meeting, Catherine announced a new initiative focused on employee wellness, single parents, and mental health. She spoke without her usual armor, admitting that strength did not mean silence. The room listened differently that day. Michael watched from the back, holding his phone where a picture of Noah smiling at school filled the screen. He understood then that sometimes the most powerful moments happen in places no one sees, between people who never planned to save each other. If this story is touching your heart right now, if it reminds you that compassion can change lives in ways success never will, please take a second to like this video, share it, and stay with this channel. Your support keeps these stories alive. Years later, Michael would still park in the same garage, still drive the same car, but he carried himself differently. Catherine, no longer hiding behind fear, led with humility. Two lives crossed for a moment of fear and became something stronger because of it. Before this story ends, please comment below with the words "kindness matters" if you believe that empathy can rewrite destinies. And if this story moved you, if it made you feel seen or reminded you of someone who helped you when you were breaking, engage with this video. Your likes, comments, and shares tell the world that even in quiet places, humanity still whispers hope.